Alright, we're showing you guys today some techniques for making a variety of rolls with our sushi unit. You guys need to get your own little bowl of water. It's about 2 cups of cold water, a few splashes, it might be a tablespoon total of rice vinegar. This is called our tezu. That rice vinegar kind of seasons the water, but also because it's acid, makes a little antibacterial properties. That said, we're still going to have gloves on. It is a little challenging to roll sushi with wearing gloves, but if you've never rolled sushi before, you don't know any different. And why it's nice to have bare hands is I can feel what's going on with the rice. Okay, but we want to minimize the bare hand contact, so we're going to have the gloves on. I keep the tezu off to the side. I'm going to be dipping in here to make sure rice doesn't stick to my hands as we go. Okay, now we have mats for you. Let's talk about this mat. This is our makisu, our bamboo mat. Okay, and it rolls in a certain way. You can see there are strings. Okay, we're going to show you a maki roll, and more technically a futomaki because it's a big roll. And we're bringing over our seaweed, which we call nori. So I'm apologizing that you guys watching a live feed, this is a little herky-jerky, but it's going to record without that. Alright, so when you guys go to get your nori seaweed, this is a brand new package. It has one of those desiccant packets inside that you don't want to eat the thing in your shoes. But you need to, your brand new shoebox, you know, need to realize that there are 2 sheets stuck together. Someone had that last period. This has already been toasted. You can get raw nori that you toast yourself on the stovetop. That's a lot of work. Please notice that there is a rough side and a smooth side. The smooth side is on the outside of the roll, so it goes down. The rough side, which holds to the rice better, is up. I also notice that there are lines that run this way. I like to run my lines parallel with the bamboo mat. Alright, let's get talking about making our roll. We have our wasabi, which is actually a horseradish with green food coloring of some sort. Could be spirulina, like another seaweed product. It has a very pronounced burn in your nose. It adds some spiciness. So this is the fake wasabi that we're mostly used to. That said, that is very, very strong, so use it sparingly. Remember that we have our hangiri bowl here, our wooden cypress. I've got this covered with a damp towel. I'm going to be scooping up the rice to put this on. You want to have your tezu off to the side so you're not dripping all over your stuff. You watch a professional sushi chefs, they usually get this done in 3 swipes. 1, 2, 3 balls spread out and they're all good. We'll see what we can do. I want to go to the tezu, get my hands pre-wet, grab up loosely what maybe is about the size of a softball. Spread that out. Now I'm going to leave a top strip of about 2 fingers width, and I want rice to be spread edge to edge. I want a minimal amount of green showing underneath. I have another towel that can help me keep my hands clean, but with the tezu, I basically wash my hands in the tezu, flick off the extra moisture, get back to the rice. Here's swipe number 2. Again, keeping that top strip clean, and I spread it around, and I might be done with 2. I really can't say how much rice this is. I just know that a cup of raw rice, when it's cooked, makes enough for about 3-4 rolls. So that's what my plan was today. Alright, we don't want any on the top strip, so if you need to, we can wipe that off. Okay, and you'll see why in a moment. But don't get it all wet. Okay, so if there's any extra rice everywhere, we can get that, thank you Dakota, cleaned off to the side. Alright, this is our futomaki, the fat roll. I've got an area about that big. I'm going to build in the middle, or sometimes on the bottom third. Okay, I put a bead of wasabi across, like rubbing my finger on that. And the rolls we made last period were pretty spicy, but that's good. And then it's time to put our veggies in. Okay? And our crab and our avocado. So, we've got the cucumbers, nice and crisp and fresh. You try not to overlap them too much in the middle, so it's good to have a knife off to the side if you have to cut them down. What I mean by overlap is having everything build up in the middle. So if you cut these and kind of stagger them, and I'd like to get some purple in there, so I'll use a purple carrot, maybe take out a little bit of the orange. You got to be careful you don't overfill this. Okay, so those are my carrot, those are my cucumbers. We also have available these neon yellow things you might find in a lot of rolls. These are daikon radishes. They were white when I started. I pickled these last night. I put salt on them, let it soak for a while, rinse it off, and then it got a sugar, water, vinegar. The yellow comes from turmeric. Soak overnight. Now they're pickled. You can take one, bite into it, see if you like the flavor. If you don't put it in your roll. It's got a little bit of a sourness to it. And I like the color. All right, your crab is technically known as surimi. This is like a pollock, some other whitefish that they try to make look like chunk crab. All right, if Dungeness crab picked out of the shell is like $25 a pound, you can imagine how expensive that would be. Most California rolls you see will use this sort of stuff. I like this chunk a little bit better than some of the sticks you see. So if you see perfectly round, they're probably sticks that are wrapped in saran wrap. They kind of do funky things to that meat to make them keep that shape, I believe. So I like this kind of loose stuff. That said, we have some claw meat that we can play with on Friday once we get a little bit better with our technique. So that's in the middle. We have our avocados. Okay, and this is kind of what makes this the California roll. So if you guys get your avocado, we have these covered with saran wrap. Thanks, Moni. We can put our piece inside. Okay, and try to avoid the brown. And they'll have you cut these in half and take the skin off. I'm not such a fan of that. I just tend to dig it out. And I'll have butter knives for you guys so it's a little bit safer. Okay? Alright, now it's time to roll. So when I pick this up, I'm going to lift the whole mat and my hands are going to kind of hold this in place so I can bring the mat over. Okay? Then I'm going to squeeze this off. I'm going to block it off from the middle out to the sides. I'm trying to make it a square. Okay? Now if I had any rice there, I can kind of get rid of it. And then it's kind of like a judgment call on how wet I think that nori is. If I need to, in my tezu water, I can just put a little dab to help it seal. And when it's time to finish the deal, I'll lift this up, bring that over, take my mat again, and block it off. So now I have a square. Alright, that looks pretty good so far, I think. Thank you. Now, here's my roll. Time to slice this, yes? Alright, so we will have you guys up front. But we have our dedicated knives that have the holes in it. I think this is called a santoku. I'm probably mispronouncing it. That's why I won't post this on YouTube and have all kinds of trolls tell me my Japanese. But we will wipe this off to keep our knife clean. So that's why I want you guys cutting up front where we have this. Be very careful, okay, about having your hand near the blade. I got these as sharp as we could. This I'm going to make an 8 cut. Some will try to go 12 cut. I think that's too small. So when I go 8 cut, if I cut this in half, it's kind of more of a sawing down motion. Clean that up, and let's see how we did as far as even. Wow. David, thanks for your wow. I think I'm off by, I'd call that a 1/4 inch, which is entirely unacceptable. Last period, it was a micron, I kid you not. But I don't have video, so I can't prove anything. Seriously though, I will cut these in half, which would make 4. And you can cut them together, or if you don't trust that, you can cut them individually. Okay? These halves will get cut in half and get all the way through the seaweed. Wipe your blade. And then these halves will get cut in half. And the top pieces might be a little bit thin. And if we did this right, one little piece of seaweed. If we did this right, when we pick it up, nothing falls out. Wait. Because you're squeezing it? Where's the camera? That's confusing. Nothing falls out. See, if I was holding this like with chopsticks, and sushi etiquette, you can pick sushi up with your hands. Okay? But if you can pick it up with chopsticks and not have everything fall out, then you've done a good roll. Okay? So that would be our roll. If you heard on camera, that's someone's phone hitting the floor. Yeah. Don't know. Do you have that sriracha mayo in a bottle? Yeah. Yeah? My top piece is no good. That was a disaster. That's all right. That's why the top piece usually stands up. Okay? That's going to be in the video. Now, sauces we have for you guys. We also would have wasabi on the side, a little soy sauce. But we have a ginger wasabi mayo. And also a sriracha mayo. Some people don't like the idea of seaweed. Hey, and all we have to do is hide it from them. So, now we talk about the inside out roll. which is the Uramaki. What I just made is a Futomaki. That's a large. This is the Uramaki. With the Uramaki, inside out roll. We get you guys rolling in 5 minutes or less. You listening?
Yes.
You can take a full sheet and break it, fold it in half and half and half until it comes apart. That's tedious. That's fine. So we have these already done. So if you want to do the inside out roll, the Uramaki, that means there's seaweeds on the inside. So this is a half sheet. Which side goes on the outside?
No soft.
Smooth.
Smooth.
Okay, so this is the only time I need this wrapped in saran wrap. Okay, so the smooth's on the outside, the rough is up. And for the Uramaki, my rice should get covered in between. I go back to the tezu. I'm going to cover this up, but I'm going to cover the whole thing. In the Futomaki, you leave a strip at the top, remember?
Yes.
In the Uramaki, you do not. The whole thing is covered. That's a good roll. I can't wait for you guys to try that. And if you don't like it, keep your comments to yourself because the camera's running. Alright, so Uramaki, the whole thing is rice, covered. I see a little green, I'll live. I'm going to get my hands flung. I'm going to flip this over so it's on the saran wrap. Okay? And then you build same way. Okay? But whereas in the Futomaki, I start in the bottom third. You guys listening?
Yes.
In the inside out roll, I go straight in the middle. And because it's smaller, clearly you can't put as much stuff. Okay? So a skinny little bit of crab. And maybe one piece of cucumber or so, and carrot, not too much. And I won't do the daikon radish because I just got to get the avocado in there. And then we roll it and we'll cut it. Alright, for this, they're somewhere. I don't have them, but we do have also, that works.
Oh, can't you just use a spoon?
Yeah, I don't know where my spoons are, buddy. Or spoon, cousin! Anyone's a Robin Hood fan? Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
With a spoon. Okay, so that's in the middle, not as much. Lift the mat up, hold it in place. Again, tuck from the middle, block it off, go. If anything oozed out like this avocado, get it out of there. I forgot to put wasabi on, that's fine. But then fold it over again. So it's rice all on the outside. People will roll this in sesame seeds. They're somewhere. Don't know where. This may be a 6 cut. Definitely not a 12 cut. So in half. Clean your blade. I think I'm going to go 6 cut. So that half gets turned into 3 pieces. So there are 6 total. Clean your blade every time you cut. Okay? And that also can get sauce or not. Now, I'm not going to drown this one with sauce. Okay, so there's seaweed inside, but it's kind of hidden, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.